Welcome students. Today, let us learn the very first chapter in history, that is sources of history. Indian history is divided into three parts. They are ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. Last year, we studied ancient Indian history. This year, we are going to study medieval Indian history. The period from 9th century CE, that is Common Era, till the end of 18th century CE is considered as medieval period of Indian history. History gives us chronological, scientific and systematic account of past events. It means people know what happened in the past by looking at the things from the past through the sources of history. This study, research on the sources provides us information of the past events in proper order and properly arranged. Individual, society, place and time are important elements in the study of history because it helps us to understand the individual, people and society and gives us data on how people and societies lived and behaved at a particular time and at a particular place in the past, which is possible through the study of various sources of history. History must be based on authentic evidence and proofs, which are known as sources of history. Sources of history should be verified through critical analysis to ascertain its authenticity. Yes, it is important and vital. These sources are basically the evidence and proofs which need to undergo the process of testing and detailed research to find out whether the source is reliable, not fake or copied, and it is worth. This is necessary because the information reaching us must be true and correct, or else we may get incorrect and false information, which may hold back our knowledge, and it is not really good. The sources of history are classified, divided as material source, written source, and oral source. Now, let me talk little more about these sources. Material source includes items with physical substance. Wait, let me tell you this. Material sources come under the category of architectural source and artifacts. These sources can be seen and touched, means they are tangible. For example, forts, buildings, pottery, etc. Written sources are in the form of written text. Yes, written sources come under the category of literary source or lettered, meaning using alphabet letters which are in the form of written material. These sources can also be seen and touched, that is, they are tangible, but can also be read if you know the language and script written. Example biographies, documents, etc. Oral sources are information passed down by words of mouth. Okay, oral sources are not documented, written, but passed down from one generation to the other. These sources cannot be seen and touched. They are intangible. It can only be heard and understood. For example, shlokas, myths, stories, etc. Let us study the first source of history, that is material source. Forts, memorials, buildings, caves, sculptures, inscriptions, coins and copper plates are regarded as material sources which are tangible, can be seen and touched. Now, let us study the material source in detail. Forts. Forts have vital, important position among material source. Forts are stronghold built by kings and nobles for protection of their respective region. Whenever a region is expected to come under attack, all the people take refuge, shelter inside the fort, along with useful things, and it is also used to solidify rule during peacetime. Some of the major forts were hill forts. Hill fort is a type of earthworks used as a fortified refuge or defended settlement located to exploit a rise in elevation for defensive advantage. Let me talk about this. Hill fort is a type of artificial changes made or modification of an area of a land used as defensive shelter against attack or danger, or a protective place situated on height of a hill for safety purpose. Hill fort also helps to keep an eye on the enemies about the movements when they are coming to attack. The Pratapgarh fort in Maharashtra represents the hill fort. The next one is forest fort. Forest fort, known as Vanadurga, is a tract of land surrounded by impenetrable forest and trees. Let me simplify this. Forest forts were built or created in a dense jungle forest, protected by heavy tree cover, and hence were invisible from long distance, and was very ordeal difficult to get in those impenetrable forests which had reptiles and wild animals. These forests were also known as Vanadurga as they were covered by forest. Javli Fort in Maharashtra is a good example of forest fort. The third one is sea fort. A sea fort is a fort completely surrounded by water by virtue of being off a coast. It may be fortified island, built on a large part of an island or a tidal island. A construction built on the seabed or consists of steel towers erected on the seabed. Now, let me make it easy. A sea fort is completely surrounded by water and with the goodness or positive point of being near the coast. It may be a reinforced island, that is, it provides defense against attack, or a build, that is, a structure on a large part of an island, or a piece of an island connected to mainland by natural or man-made causeway. Causeway means a raised road across low or wet ground. It can also be a large structure built on a seafloor or made of steel towers put together and set upright on a seabed and protected by vicious, dangerous waves. The Janjira Fort in the coastal village of Murud in Maharashtra is the best specimen of sea fort. The last one is forts on the plains. Forts on the plains, also known as Bhuikot. Plain fort fell into two groups. Fort of the first group were places from which to carry on commerce, a staging area for traders. Forts of the second group, detailed here, were places from which to execute war, a staging area for soldiers. Let me tell you more about this. Forts on the plains are called as Bhuikot. Bhui means land in Marathi and Kot means killa, that is fort. Bhuikot means fort on a large area of flat surface, land with few trees and not on any mountain. These forts come under two categories. One as market city, where trade and commerce were carried out, and a resting, halting place for traders. The suitable example is Golconda Fort in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, was the market city of diamond trade, and gems sold there came from a number of mines. This fort within the wall was famous for diamond trade. Another category of fort was a place to carry out war and a halting, stopping place or assembly point of soldiers before the war. Now, this can be supported with the example of Chakan Fort, from where the last Maratha war was fought. Memorials and monuments are the next material source. What are memorials and monuments? Listen to me carefully. A structure or an object created in remembrance of a person or important event. It means a structure or an object made to remind people of a person or event. Memorials and monuments are a source of history. It gives us a sense of wonder, a sense of surprise, and makes us curious to know more about the past connected with it. The study of memorial and monuments help us to construct history through observation. Memorials and monuments include samadhi, graves, virgalas, buildings. Buildings include palaces, ministerial mansion, queen's mansion, and houses of common people. All these provides us with an insight about the period in which they were made. It gives us an idea about the development of architecture and the quality of art in that particular period. Let me explain you some of the terms related to memorials and monuments. The first one is samadhi. Samadhi is a structure erected in the memory of a dead person over their burial place. Let me make it easy. Samadhi is built in remembrance, to remember an important person. Samadhi is usually made up of stone where a body of an important person is buried. It is built in a large place. It varies in size, that is, some are big and wide in size and some are not that big. It is separated on all sides from other open space by walls or fencing material. The original purpose of samadhi was to protect the dead body of a person. The samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi is the best example from the current scenario. The next one is grave. Grave is a place where dead body is buried. Yes, very true. Everybody has to go to this place one or the other day. Grave is a place where a dead body of human being or sometimes that of an animal is buried. Graves are usually situated in specific and special areas for burial purposes, such as graveyard. We cannot bury a person anywhere. It should be in that specific area which is called as graveyard. We can easily see graves in Christian graveyards. The last one is virgalas. Virgalas are martyr stone erected in the memory of slain and unsung soldiers. It means a stone which was put up or placed to remember the martyrs. Means people who were ill-treated and killed, murdered for refusing to support and surrender to the enemy. These were either built by family members or local villagers in the memory of soldiers who were killed and neglected. They can be called as forgotten soldiers. Many of these stones have been found in broken condition and mostly buried in the ground. Some of the virgalas were discovered in Karnataka. Let us move on to the next material source, that is coin. Coins were made by different rulers using metals like gold, silver and copper. From coins, we learn about rulers, the period of governance, that is administration, religious ideas, and personal details. We also learn about financial transaction and economic condition. The progress of metallurgy means technique of heating metals so as to give desired shape and also making alloys. We can also learn and understand the religious coordination, script and language of that period. Coins are considered as basic and primary source of information. Through the minute and detailed observation of coin, we can obtain many information. Now let us see the first coin and converse about the information acquired. This is a gold coin, was issued by the Emperor Samudragupta of the Gupta dynasty. Shows wearing Iranian or Scythian style coat, trouser and cap, and Indian style necklace and earring. He has a halo, that is, a circle of light around or above the head to show holiness. The Indian mythical bird Garud is shown resting on a stand, which was the symbol of Gupta Empire. The name of the emperor is written in Brahmi script under the left arm. Through the observation of this coin, we can learn about the metal used to mint coin, the ruler, attire or personal detail, empire symbol, script of a particular period. Here are the images of coins through which we come to know about the qualities of the king at that time. In the first image, that is of gold coins, shows Shiva Parvati, Shiva holding trident, that is Trishul, sun and moon above, and the reverse of the coin shows Persian letter Hay for Hyder Ali, the emperor at that time, on a granulated field, shows religious coordination of those days. And the second image of Ramsiya coin was issued by Emperor Akbar, a monarch, king, well ahead of his time. The coin says Akbar's tolerant, liberal views about religion. Both the coins are example of religious coordination and religious tolerance existing at that time. Look at this coin. This is called Peshwa coin. These coins were indeed beautiful. All Peshwa coins were round-shaped and minted using silver. The Peshwas used the Arabic or Persian language on their coins. This throws light on the metal used for minting coin and knowledge of language and the use of language in that period. Inscription is an important material source. An inscription is a carving or writing on a stone or wall or some material as an important historical source. These are valuable and reliable evidence. The study of inscription is called epigraphy, and the study of writing on inscription is called paleography. Inscriptions are seen on rocks, pillars, stones, slabs, walls, and body of temples. They are also found on seals and copper plates. There are various types of inscription. They contain writing of important events that took place, thoughts and views of kings. They also sometimes contain king's orders regarding administrative, religious, and major decision to the public in general. It also helps to understand language that was spoken and script that were used. Script is a writing part of language. Sometimes there are languages that share same script. For instance, Hindi and Marathi languages share Devanagari script, and English alphabetical letters are shared by French language. That is, French is written by using English alphabet. Kings got their official order, that is edict, engraved on stone so that they might remain for long. The good example of inscription is Brihadeshwara temple premises in Tanjavur. You can also see on slide the image of stone inscription of 10th century and lime inscription carving by Palmyra, which is a palm tree which gives us wide range of products like timber, fruits, fiber, etc. Inscription is also an important material source. An inscription is a carving or writing on a stone or wall or some material as an important historical source. These are valuable and reliable evidence. The study of inscription is called epigraphy, and the study of writing on inscription is called paleography. Inscriptions are seen on rocks, pillars, stones, slabs, walls, and body of temples. They are also found on seals and copper plates. There are various types of inscription. They contain writing of important events that took place, thoughts and views of kings. They also sometimes contain king's orders regarding administrative, religious, and major decisions to the public in general. It also helps to understand languages that were spoken and script that were used. Script is a writing part of language. Sometimes there are languages that share same script. For instance, Hindi and Marathi languages share Devanagari script, and English alphabetical letters are shared by French language. That is, French is written by using English alphabet. Kings got their official order, that is edict, engraved on stone so that they might remain for long. The good example of inscription is Brihadishwara temple premises in Tanjavur. You can also see on slide the image of stone inscription of 10th century and limestone carving by Palmyra, which is a palm tree, which gives us a wide range of products like timber, fruit, fiber, etc. The last material source of this chapter is copper plate. Copper plates are inscriptions carved on copper sheet. Copper plates were widely used for writing inscriptions. They are also called as Tamapatra. The kings have inscription carved on copper plate as a sign of their power and wisdom. When a king lives and dies, their power and knowledge remain in the memory of the people in the kingdom through these copper plates. Copper plates are valuable source in history as they gives us an insight into social and political condition of medieval India. They also help us to fill chronological gaps in connecting history. They were also used to carry out administrative orders, verdicts, which means decision made by a specially chosen group of people or jury, and royal edicts, which means royal proclamation, declaration, or command from the king and other governing officials were inscribed on copper plates. All these material sources, that is, architectural source and artifacts, provides the most authentic information in writing history. Thank you for listening me calmly. I will be coming soon with the next section of the chapter. Till then, enjoy learning.